A Netflix original comedy. Let's see how this goes. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking the brand new Netflix original movie. This is Coffee and Kareem. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to let me know and comment your thoughts down below. Later on today, more reviews for a new Netflix series and a brand new Amazon Prime series. But right now, Coffee and Kareem. Let's get into it. So 12-year-old Kareem Manning hires a criminal to scare his mom's new boyfriend, police officer James Coffee. But it backfires, forcing Coffee and Kareem to team up in order to save themselves from Detroit's most ruthless drug kingpin. So this film was directed by Michael Dowse, most notably the director of Stuber, which I didn't love, but I thought was pretty funny, and then Goon, and a lot of people hold Goon in high regard. So I was interested to see where this was going to go. Ed Helms. Ed Helms is a guy who you either love him or you are disappointed in his choice of movie, right? Even when you're disappointed, you still enjoy his presence, and I liked his presence in this movie, even if the dialogue that he was spouting out was not the best. And the relationship between these two, that's what carries the film. And that's what you expect to keep your interest throughout, even if the overarching story isn't the best, and the overarching story is not the best. Terrence Gardenhigh plays Kareem, and I feel like a lot of kids will know him from Henry Danger and Danger Force, which I believe are shows like on Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, one of those two. But if you're a kid, you should not be watching this movie, because this movie is a very hard R rating from a bit of violence, but more so the cursing, especially the character of Kareem, which is spouting out the F word like every 5 or 10 minutes. So if you're a kid, don't watch this movie. If you're an adult, is this funny enough to maintain my attention? For me, it was not. And here's the reason why. I think some people will enjoy this movie because it's a very easy watch, right? You don't get much from it, but in return, you don't have to put much into it, if that makes sense. It's almost the perfect Netflix movie to watch if you're doing other things and you just kind of have it on in the background. And I say that because there are explosions, and that's kind of the perfect film you're watching when you're doing that. But two, you don't have to pay attention because you could pick up almost 30 minutes later. And I say that because there were times where I got really tired and started to nod off, and I woke myself up saying, no, Austin, don't do this. But why does it matter? Because there isn't too much to take in. It's very obvious where this is going. It's very predictable because of that. And because of that, you don't get a lot when the movie's over. And for me, some will say it's like a throwback to the classic comedies that we used to get. And I understand that to a degree, but you have to look at the fact that it's not all that funny. The lines that they're spouting out, the one-liners, the cliche one-liners that you see in all of these, not buddy cop movies, but this almost feels that way, even though one is much older and one is much younger. But it's a horrible script, to be flat honest with you. It's a horrible script, and my number one rule in a comedy, and I say this all the time, is it has to at least make you laugh, right? If you're laughing, if you're chuckling with our characters, then yeah, I think you're really going to dig this movie. You have character actors at this point, such as King Batch, that come in and make you laugh a couple of times. But then you look at how outlandish certain things are, and in these dire situations, these dire moments when Taraji P. Henson, who is also in this movie, how did they get her? When someone is getting shot, or there's a grenade that goes off, there's a building that blows up, our characters are just like, well, thank goodness we weren't in there. And I understand that that's the over-the-top satirical kind of humor that some people will be looking for, but it doesn't make sense in the context of these dire situations, and you just don't feel any sort of emotion between our characters. You're supposed to buy the fact that Coffee and Kareem are building this friendship, and the chemistry is there to a point, but then you look at the story and where it progresses to, and I didn't feel that connection as the story progressed. I didn't get a lot out of these characters. And the real highlight of this movie isn't even our main two characters. It's actually Betty Gilpin, who I just talked about when I reviewed The Hunt. The Hunt was fun. It was really fun because of her. This movie is fun because of her. Is she over the top? Yes. Is she spouting out nonsensical dialogue? For sure. Was it all that funny? Not necessarily. But she's great. Her line delivery is awesome. She needs to pick better movies. But she was the highlight, the standout of this film. So there were a few moments that made me chuckle, made me laugh, and I think a lot of people will get something out of it. Hopefully something that I didn't get out of it, because I didn't find this movie all that funny. I found it very cliche. I've seen it 1,000 times before, and it doesn't feel like it belongs in 2020. It feels like a 2006 comedy just pushed forward 14 years. So if you guys enjoyed this somewhat negative review, please let me know in the comments down below. Smash that thumbs up button. I have a Netflix review on this channel, hopefully every weekend for the next couple of months. So for Coffee and Kareem, I am unfortunately going to have to go a 30%. Like I said, some laughs that pushed it up to that percentage, but not enough to get over that, man. It's just, it's a movie I've seen before, and it didn't do all that much for me, especially when you're wanting a big laugh from a comedy like this. So thank you guys for watching. You're truly the best. Stay tuned. Money Heist, Tales from the Loop. Can't wait to finish these shows. I'll see you soon.